This is my annual top 10 lessons that I learned this year. Starting with the magic that you're looking for is in the work that you are avoiding. And this comes from me having a problem where we didn't have the specific product that we wanted to have. And so we also didn't have someone to build it. And I thought that the solution for that is to hire someone, outsource that thing. And for me, as running the business, I should know the parts of the business. Otherwise, the business will suffer if there's no one to manage it. And that was the first mistake, that I tried to outsource our most precious resource that we have, which is our product. And so then I did a second mistake, which was like, okay, so we need to hire someone, and the problem that was that we didn't get qualified people to be hired. And I thought that, well, okay, the problem is then that we need a good hiring funnel. And so then we made a good hiring funnel, and at this point we end up wasting time. And from the real problem, that was that we didn't have someone to build it. And so first, to have any problems, we have to have a goal. And let's say, let's build a this is money. This is the goal. We have a goal here. Okay, so we want to get there. Let's say our goal is to build a product that is helping million people, for example. And so for us to get there, we need to solve the problems between us, which is, let's make a brick wall here. So our problem is this thing here, and we want to get here. And for us to get here, we should not try to solve the other brick walls that we will have after solving this brick wall. So now our problem is, let's go stick with the example. So our problem is that we don't have the product ready. Okay, so what is the simplest way for us to solve it? That's the first question we want to ask. Like, what is the simplest way to solve it with minimal time, effort, and cost? Okay. We list our options. What options do we have? Then we calculate the opportunity cost of all those options. In this case, the options would have been me learning the skills. I have a base in programming, so I can learn the skills, but we still need to figure out like how long it will take for me to learn that. Second is, we will hire someone to solve the problem who have done it before, or we will just hire someone to solve the problem who have not done it before, or we are trying to make a hiring funnel to get someone qualified. And looking at the situation, hiring someone, like making a hiring funnel, hiring someone who have done it before, and then hiring someone who have not done it before, and then we sort of run out of options because this product that we were building is very different from other products. And so then there's only like, so I have to know the business, so I should learn it too. And then we are there. Then we are at the problem, the most urgent and biggest problem in our business, which is this brick wall here. Questions to help to understand, we can ask, this is our goal, right? So what is the biggest problem now in our business to getting into our primary goal? You can ask that question to figure out the problem, that the thing that we should be solving. And then like, what is the simplest solution for that problem? And then making habits. Okay, let's go to that. Let's stick with the magic you are looking for is in the work that you are avoiding. So if you jump straight into that, is like to solve this problem, what are you avoiding? You want to make a list. What are the things that I'm avoiding on solving this problem? So is it that I'm thinking that I cannot learn it, it will take too long time, I've not done the research to do that stuff, or what is that? And then you can ask straight questions. Am I avoiding, which of these am I avoiding? Am I avoiding learning the skill, asking for help, or trying to distract myself with other irrelevant problem that is not needed right now? Then, moving to the second lesson I learned this year is that importance of the right resources. So let's stick with the same example. So I wanted to do hiring funnel. For me to do hiring funnel, the best hiring funnel, I needed the right resources. And for me to find those resources, like you need a judgment, etc. But you need to spend time on researching. You need to spend time on trying to find the most reliable and trustworthy resources who have the best intentions for your success. And once you have the resources that you need, then you are able to solve the problems like super fast. So, for example, in this case, I think I studied 2 weeks, not full time, but like part time on this thing, on how to make the hiring funnel. And then I just randomly I found like super great resources which I started using, and then I think the value of me doing that went like to the moon compared to what it was before that. And I wrote down steps for this, and I want to simplify this one. So first of all, the right resources, there is no such thing as right resources. You are the right resources because you are in your shoes, and you're the only one who had all those experiences that you had in your past. So there's no one to give you right formula. So what you want to do is like you have to learn every single day something that went wrong. Like, okay, so what were the main mistake I made today? What was my main success that I made today? Then you ask, why did that happen? Like, first, like, what happened? Why did that happen? What was the lesson I learned from that? What are the steps for improvement from that? And that sort of short feedback loop between you and your goal and the learning you need to get to that goal is extremely important. And then the second thing is every single week or once per month, you want to spend 1 to 2 hours to just identify what kind of individual have solved the problem that I have in the next quarter, and where could I find that person? Like, first you list down the traits. What kind of person do have walked the similar path, who might have answers to the problems that you're facing right now, and how to get to the next level. So you list down the things that you have as a problem and what's the path, who might have it. Then once you have that, then you do research for the next hour on like who have done it, like who've done it. Is there content is very common these days? Is there a blog post about it? Is there some like individual who have actually done it, and is it nearby you, or can you connect to them by online? And so Then you make a list of all these individuals, all these contents, and then you like spend your time like researching, and you check. You add all those things, and once you finish with that, then you start to go one by one, and you check the most qualified, like let's say 10, top 10, and then that's what you're gonna study in the next quarter. And then you're gonna message those people who were in the list. Like, there's no question. You set a goal, you're gonna message these people on this day, this time, and this is what you're gonna say. And when you message people, you want to message them as you would also reply to them if they were messaging you. So you want to be clear with your intentions. You want to explain specifically what's your problem, and you want to ask help. And then you want to figure out like, how could they like benefit from you, and then make it as easy as possible for them to help you. So you don't want to go and say like, hey, I'm building this thing, and could you help me? No, they will not help you, and you wouldn't do it also. If you go and ask like, hey, I saw that you did this, and I think you have solved this issue, and I have this particular issue right now, and I was thinking like, could I ask you 2 questions in text about this problem to move forward in my journey? And I would truly appreciate if you would take the time, like 5 minutes, to reply to me. Thank you. Boom. If someone would send me that, and I think I'm a qualified person to answer that, I would definitely answer that. And then, of course, depending on the situation, you might meet someone who could become your mentor. But I would highly recommend do not focus on like trying to find a mentor to get to this next level, but like you just have to get to the next level, and there's someone who might help you speed up the learning process, but you have to learn the lessons. So a mentor itself doesn't help if you are not willing to take the steps to learn the stuff. And the third one was, I was studying the last quarter of, let's draw something. Yeah. Like this. Okay. Everything here, these are neurons. These are synapses. Boom, 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 boom. What I learned in the last quarter when I was studying about like how to learn faster was that if you're able to connect your new knowledge that you are gaining to your existing knowledge, it will speed up the process like crazy. And rather than trying to build boxes of knowledge like this, or leaves. Okay, let's try to draw a leaf. Okay. Yes, and then. Okay, that's a leaf. So rather than trying to beat these small boxes of knowledge, what you want to focus on, how I am able to learn 10x faster, is that you want to build a extremely strong roots, fundamental understanding of the thing that you are studying. Like, let's make it simple like that. And you want to have a strong roots. Once you have that, then you can also have strong trunk. And everything here is the fundamentals. And once you have this particular knowledge here, right? The next thing you do is like you want to build a tree of knowledge. Why is not okay? That works. Nice. And then you build another strong trunk. And these connect. The connection is the key. Making connections between existing knowledge and knowledge that is new for you. And the main thing I actually learned is that like learning is a skill. Before I used to think that, well, some people just learn better. But in those 3 months I learned that, well, actually there is techniques that in the ancient Egypt times, people were not able to carry books, like full books in their brain, because they were just more intelligent. They just had a better system. And that's how they were able to do that. And that's how you're also able to do that. So it's a limiting thought that you're not just that kind of a learner person, etc. So without these strong roots, is that you will not have the base to hold a lot of information. Without the base of understanding of the things that you are learning, you won't be able to hold it. Like, they must be connected to a more deeper meaning. For example, we could talk about, so everything is sort of physics. I studied about metaphysics, thermodynamics, and quantum physics. And fundamentally understanding those things, almost everything we see can be explained by those. So physics and universe is basically math. So physics and math is the base. And you can build anything on top of that once you understand the fundamentals. And let's go deeper, a little bit deeper on this. Maybe not important to write down, but like, so there's factual knowledge, which is the physics, for example. And then there's conceptual knowledge, which is the why. Like, why does it work? It's like theory, etc. And combining those two is like you have a strong foundation. When you understand the why and what, and then you build up to how. So, and also your brain has, didn't write here, but your brain has, it has two goals, right? Save energy and keep you alive. So if you can make your brain think that we have to learn this and it's necessary for our survival, let me tell you a secret, it will learn. And if you can flip it like that, then it will use the energy to learn that stuff. And how to learn faster is like by emotional connections, stories, connections. Since over 10 million. Yeah, so also there is there's maybe 3 things that it's trying to do. There's many other things, but like, so it's trying to save energy, which means like there is over 10 million sensory data bits coming to you every single second, and you are able to process around 50 bits per second. So it has a lot of filters. And one very important thing, which I'm slowly implementing to my learning, was Bloom's taxonomy, revised version. And that is about how teachers can measure the level of knowledge of their students. And so, well, you can also use that for yourself to measure on your level of knowledge. And then you can measure the progress. Are you actually making progress? And progress is very motivating. So I highly recommend to use that thing. So going like recalling that is like, so remember is level 1 in Bloom's taxonomy, which is about recalling and recognizing. Second is understanding. It's about grasping grasping the meaning and the context. Then there is apply, which is you're able to use the knowledge and like practically. Then there's analyze, you're able to break the knowledge down to smaller pieces. And then there is evaluate, where you are able to make a judgment or critic on the knowledge, on the thing that you are analyzing. Then there is create, which is like these two last things are like very rare. So the last one is create, and so you are able to create new knowledge from your existing knowledge, so something that didn't exist before. And the last one, the last bit. Oh, there's many, still many, but it's very important. So I'm gonna explain it, so I also learn it better. You can remove the trunk. It was called output formula, where we have output, and so we aim to get output more. How do we get output? Output is no. Yeah, yeah. It's recalling. Can you see? Hardly. So output is equals to impact x focus x time. And oftentimes, this totally flipped my mind when I realized this. Oftentimes, we think like, oh, I have to study for 5 hours to learn this thing. No, you don't have to study 5 hours to learn that thing. You could also study for five minutes to learn it. And it's not about the time. It's not about it. It's very little thing in the whole thing. Then we have focus, which is you are able to concentrate on the one thing more effectively. And then we have impact, which is how impactful is the thing that you're studying right now. And high impact studying would be something that you are constantly challenged, you feel engaged, you feel that it's not easy, but it's also not overwhelming. And you also, so if you look at the low side, low impact studying would feel like you're just repeating yourself, your mind is wandering, it's too easy for you. And these are the differences. And what we have here is like impact. It's like 5x. Then we have focus, which is 3x. And then we have time, which is 1x. And the more impactful is the thing that we are studying, will impact 5 times more than the time we put in. So it's not about the studying, it's about the learning. What did you learn? And I think I'm gonna keep it short. All right. We can leave the impact there. Okay. Then next. So we need to study. First, we want to understand problem. What problem are we trying to solve by studying this thing? What is a problem? So then we have it's the why. Why do we study? Okay. Then next we scope what we need to study. Like the library. Why? No, it's what? What? Or how? Okay. We scope what we want to study, then we measure. Measure current level of knowledge. Okay, you measure yourself. How well do you know it now? And then you really see the gaps in your knowledge. Next is learning. Then we start to learn. Let me see if there is anything else I missed. The why, measuring, high impact, check. Okay. This is preparation. Prep. Okay. Then we move to, let me try if this turns. Yeah, it turns. Cool. Then we move to learning, aka studying. First we have distractions. Minimize distractions. Set clear goal and intention. Intention. Okay. Clear intention. Then high impact. So you're learning something very relevant. Okay, here we have it. Here we have the points again. So high impact, you feel that you have a clear goal, that you're driving with your learning, and then you're deeply engaged to the learning with high meaningfulness, and you're actively thinking and reflecting back and forth, and you're challenged in a way that doesn't feel easy. You have a constant feedback loop. So okay, you're taking notes, and you recognize that, oh, I'm actually learning this stuff right now, and I'm understanding. You are understanding it more deeply. And once again, like, how does low impact learning feel like? It's like you ask yourself, why is this necessary? So if you notice these traits, if you notice this stuff, then you know that you are using a low impact study method. And depending on your focus, the time won't really matter if you're using low impact study method. You ask, why is it necessary? You find the learning monotonous and unengaging. You fall into repetitive thinking without new insights. You're constantly distracted by unrelated thoughts. you feel the material is too easy to be worth your effort. Then, right, high impact. Then we take breaks. Let me change. High impact, and then take breaks. Oh, this works well. Take a break. And you can also have 15 seconds break. So what you can do is you can like stop and you totally relax. So then your brain, once you go to bed and your brain is sleeping, it will go back, usually backwards your day, and it will recognize those spots where it was stopped and completely relaxed. And then that helps with your learning. And so this is like recalling. And so the goal here is to like take a break and then fully engage between these two things. High impact and then take a break. You switch between these two things. Yeah, and notes. Notes, still seeing, yes. Notes, handwritten, written, and never copy. So what happens is when you copy the text straight away, you don't really learn. You're using lower levels of learning where you are not using effort, and that makes it so that you don't really learn. So you want to make your notes your notes. So when you write your notes, you think like, what did I understand, and like, what's the point, and then you write that point, right? Next. Okay. Next is log. Learning log. So you want to check yourself. What did you learn today? What method are you using? How is it effective? And how are you improving with your knowledge? Going down. Yeah, and then recall. You can put recall here. Recall is like, you can use flashcards. Oops, cards. You can use memory palace. Space repetition. Repetition. And you recheck your notes. That's it. Let's move to the next one. A thing that came to my mind while I was wiping the board was that like oftentimes we don't do the preparation well, we jump into the learning, and then we also miss the recall. So to actually learn something, you have to recall, you have to use that knowledge as much as possible, so you will actually remember that stuff. Moving to my fourth lesson, which is, yes, can I keep this one slow? I had how many? 3 pages No, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I have 6 pages of written lessons from this stuff. I'm not able to wrap up all of them, but when I was reviewing my last years, I had every single week of last year, and I reviewed everything, and I looked through where did I use my time, based on quarters, based on months, based on weeks. And what I saw was not something very, very nice, what you would want to see. But it's part of the growing process. So I saw that I was solving problems quite often. 3 years ahead, 3 years ahead of time. So my type is like, I'm naturally, I'm not the doer. I'm the person who has the ideas and creates a system around it. So that is a natural thing for me, and that's also my weakness at the same time, because I'm solving problems too far in the future. So if we don't even get there, it doesn't matter at all. And this lesson is solving the problems that are most urgent and the biggest right now. Not in a week, not in a month, not in a year or 3 years. You have to solve the most urgent ones now, because it goes like this. This is the goal. What could it be? Let's put a balloon there, just for fun. That's our goal. That's where we want to go. And these are the steps that we can get there, right? If we solve this, we are here. We are here, and we have to jump, bump, 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 and then bump to get to the goal. So first one is we have to figure this one out. Boom. Then we're gonna jump to the next one. If we solve these and these and not these ones, we will never get to the goal. And simply put, that is what I learned. So yeah, I went to quantum mechanics, cause and effect, network effects, threshold effect, viral effect, feedback loops, and exponential growth, interconnectedness, and second order effects. And the most important thing I learned was opportunity costs. And if I pick up one of these things, I would pick up cause and effect. I'm not sure how it is relevant for this, so solving the problem that is most burning and growing right now. So perhaps we should look at something that is like a threshold. So something that, like boiling water, once it reaches the 100, then it boils. 95, it doesn't boil. So once it gets there, it's a threshold, so it will explode. So, for example, in a company, there might be someone who is building resentment, or the culture isn't that good. So what happens is it doesn't really seem that clear until one day it's like, boom, and it's bad. Then it's bad. And so then, as a person who wants to solve the right problems, when I figure out, like, okay, so the threshold is there, how could we try it? Let's try a pot where we are boiling water. Oh, we have water there. And then, okay. Threshold. What is the threshold? Is it already almost like exploding? Does it have like dangerous threshold? Is it expanding? Is it expanding? If expanding. Oh, expanding exponentially. It's very urgent. So if a problem, it's not visible. If a problem is expanding exponentially, then it has to be solved and really quickly. And then a problem that is huge already, so that will be the stepping stones. The next one is huge, because without that you won't get there. And then I'm thinking if there is also interconnectedness. So how is the problem interconnected? And in that document I've read a few times, in that I have a good example of that, which would be, let's put some connections here first. Okay, there's many connections. Interconnected system. Company is an interconnected system, and an example of this would be a situation where you have an employee who is 9 out of 10 negative, and other people are like 2 out of 5, let's say, not that negative, but this one person is very negative. And what this person does, it influences these other people here in the system, right? And then this negative person spreads the negativity through interconnected system, where all these other people who get the negativity will also start to spread it, even though it might get less by 25-50%, something within that. And when it spreads, it spreads even more. So interconnected issues are also very urgent things. Then if we look at, that goes down to then I made steps. Simply, if we put it simply, the biggest problem and the most urgent. The one which is fastest growing, the most interconnected, the one with severe second order effects. And so second order effects are here, right here. So this person is very negative, and it talks to this person, right? And this person becomes more negative. Okay, and then the second order effects start to happen from this. And then what, we ask? And then what? So this person will spread negativity to others. And then what? These people will spread negativity to more people. And that's how second order effects work. You just ask, like, and then what? And then what? And then what? And then you can get to that thing. Quick thing which I found very, very helpful is that okay, there's cause and effect. So cause is that I ate healthy food. Okay, that's the cause. The effect is that I feel good. If I eat bad food, I will feel bad. And then if I feel bad and I want to go back and find the cause, get into the roots of the thing. So I feel bad. Okay, what happened is that I feel bad. What happened? Why it happened, you ask next. And then you can get the cause. Okay, why it happened? It happened because I didn't sleep very well. So then you ask, like, why it happened? And because I didn't eat so well. Why that happened? Because I have a habit of eating badly. Why it happened? Because I was teaching my childhood. Why it happened? Because I like to get like immediate good feeling when like eating stuff. Let's go. Let's move. Writing the problem, like brief 3-step system to check what problem to solve. The first one is scale of it. What is a current scale of the problem. So you want to rate 1 to 5 of these scales, and then you can pick the one that you should solve. Second one is the growth, rate of growth. How fast is the problem growing? Third one is second order effects, severity of the second order effects. If the problem is there, what happens after its cause? And then what? And then you can also rate interconnectedness and speed of negative feedback loop. But that's additional thing. Main are like scale of it, growth of it, and then second order effects of it. That's about problems. Do I have time to go through the next one? This is huge. So the lesson is hardship is only hardship when you perceive it as hardship. So things aren't hard, you just feel that they are hard. If you never heard this before, it might be a very new thing. So if life is hard, it means that you're soft. If life is easy, it means that you are skilled. So you what you want to do is like, you don't want to wish for easy life. You want to wish for more skills to handle the life that you have. And let's think of like something really bad happened, like you broke up, for example, in a relationship, like very sad. I broke up, okay. And then what you want to do is you ask yourself like, what would it take to make this amazing? And then you want to figure like, what is the perception you have, and how can you fix the perception? Like, what would it take to make this amazing? Well, now I'm free, I'm single, I can do whatever I like. Oh, now I can start doing more of these things because this person was not so happy with these things, etc. And I also wrote an example, which is like, let's say a person in a wheelchair goes shopping, he buys groceries, and it takes only 45 minutes. He's very happy. Finally, only 45 minutes. Yes, saved so much time. Normally it takes 1 hour for him. And then a normal person goes to the groceries and they can walk. So it takes 15 minutes, and they're like, why it takes so long? And then normally it takes 10 minutes for them. So there was like a long quote and so many people, it's so hard. And what would it take to make this amazing? Again, it's our perception which is making the reality, not the reality itself. Steps. If I feel that something is hard or difficult, I acknowledge that it's hard because I think it's hard. It's not hard because it's hard. It's hard because I perceived it as hard. Okay. Something hard happened. Okay. I perceived it as hard. Got it. I asked myself, what would it take to make this amazing? Like, how would I perceive this if it were an amazing thing? Am I the luckiest person in the world right now to experience this? Then just change your perception. I am the luckiest person in the world to experience this stuff. Yeah. Then we are halfway through